week though, since you missed a giveaway.
All
All
right,
right, y'all
brace
ready?
yourself. Brace yourself.
If you all have a relationship question or any type of question that you want to send to me and Stan, send it to us at info@spotlightoverthecity.com. Info@spotlightoverthecity.com. You ready?
Let's do it.
I know it sounds like the same old song, but I swear that I honestly made a very costly mistake in my marriage when I spent the night out with my old high school sweetheart at our class reunion. I begged my wife to go with me to the reunion, but she insisted that I go alone and have a fun time for my 25-year high school reunion. Well, one thing led to another, and I was drunk and I spent the night with my high school sweetheart. Little did I know that my high school sweetheart was still very immature. She answered my FaceTime call from my wife when I was in the shower. Imagine what my mind and stomach were going through on my plane ride back home to my wife. I never felt so horrible. I won't go into all the details, but my wife forgave me verbally and decided to stay and work it out. It was rough for the first couple of months, but I did understand. True forgiveness, though, does not allow for you to be mean to me indefinitely. You cannot harass me indefinitely and not connect with me intimately indefinitely. I don't get any more affection either. It feels like she's just tolerating me. You cannot forgive a person and then continue to treat them away. I made a huge mistake, and I will have to answer to God for that. But if my wife truly forgives me, then she has to be willing to move forward because I won't be able to continue being mistreated indefinitely. If you voluntarily stay with the person who hurt you, then it is your obligation to work on forgiveness both in your heart and in your actions. Otherwise, leave. Oh, well, I'm going to
Great.
let you go
It's a
first.
pretty good letter. It's a lot in it.
Yeah.
First of all, he is right in a lot of ways. He's right. I'm not saying he's right for what he did. He was wrong. He violated. Okay, we get that.
He said he made a mistake.
So what he's right about is when you are in a relationship and you agree to forgive, then you really have to not just do it on paper, so to speak, but you really have to, in your heart, forgive this incident. Now you're not gonna forget right away. I know that because it's in your head, but you can't keep bringing it up and punishing someone continuously and think that they can be healthy with you because that's going to bring them low. It's not going to help the situation. So
Very
you
true.
said, I forgive you, right? Which means you can't keep bringing it up. And that's one of the rules we work on now. When you say you forgive, you can't keep bringing it up, throwing it up in people's face. You can't, so it's hard once you found out that you have concrete evidence of a cheater, but at the same time, you did forgive. So
Yeah.
it just really comes with some practice. But that goes back to what I say a long time ago. I don't believe in that. I don't believe. I think certain things are really deal breakers, right? I
What you
believe
don't
that.
believe in.
And so when you have children and all those things involved, you have to fight a little harder. But when you have infidelity, and especially if you don't have a whole lot of years in it and this and that, I just don't believe in what he's going through
Yeah.
because I know that's the case. You're gonna get punished. You're gonna be in jail pretty much during the basis of your relationship. Now I'm not saying with everybody. It depends on the maturity of your mate, right? If you have a really really mature mate, then maybe they can really forgive you and really never bring it up, and they can kind of get past it over time. But it's a real swing. That's a hard
So
swing.
so you're still standing on you feel like once somebody if a man cheats on his wife, he should just leave her after he
Um,
cheats?
I don't think that he's gonna get the same relationship. It's broken, and so they can go to therapy, counseling, all that kind of stuff, and maybe mend it if they're
And be
both
yeah, and get it
willing.
be
If they're both
repaired.
willing. If one person still has in her heart or his heart that I don't like this or resentment has set in, you're in trouble. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't just squeeze past that. Once that resentment, because women can be vindictive, and it comes into play when they're hurt and scorned, and so those things can hurt a woman really deep. Of course, more so than
Yeah.
a man. Even no, I'll switch that around now because we worse. If you cheat on us, we tore down. We ain't worth a
Yes.
damn after that.
Y'all can't handle
Yeah, we
what you
can't. We
get.
don't handle it the same way. So
No.
I will say that if you cheat on a man, a sister cheat on a man, it's not the same response.
No, I heard
Yeah.
something on the radio today. They were talking about this, and the radio, the guy radio, whatever, the guy that was on the radio said, I've never taken a woman back who's cheated on me. He said, because I just can't handle that. But the women that were on the radio said, all of them were just like, well, we all been cheated on, and we took them back. But men can't. typically handle that. So in
I don't
this
know that we
case,
all been cheated on or just knowingly. I don't know that I knew.
I'm
Like,
talking about women.
oh, women.
Yeah, the
All
women
women
said,
been cheated on? Well,
well,
that's
the
tough.
women that were on this radio program said that they had all been cheated on and they all forgave the man.
Right.
But the man was like, no, I have never been able to forgive a woman who has done that to me. And in this letter, this man is saying he made a mistake. He see, so this is another thing, women. Now you shouldn't have to face guard your man, but if Stan tell me he going to his 25-year reunion and it's out of town, you best believe I'm going, okay?
You're gonna be aboard.
I'm
I'm gonna
going.
want you to go though.
I am going to his 25-year high school reunion, especially if it's out of town. Now, if it's right up the street, whatever.
But just let me say this
I'm
to
going.
you,
And it
Slay.
doesn't mean that I'm preventing him from sleeping with someone, but I am going to represent as, at
As
25
a
years,
union, yeah.
as a unit.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
am.
so
He ain't by himself.
to you, my man, that's kind of goofy though. You was real reckless the way you was moving because that's kind of goofy to go way out of town, get drunk, and go to bed with the woman and
That's
spend
what
the
men
night.
do.
Even if you was local to do all that, you have to know. Like my father, not my father. That's a lie. Um, like my OG used to say, always know where your ass at, no matter what the situation. Always know where your ass
And
at.
that high school
And
sweetheart
so,
answered the face.
and
See,
so
women,
you got to know.
women slick, man. He went in the shower and she answered the FaceTime call to the wife. Like, why y'all, why
That's my
women,
baby
why
mama. My
y'all be
baby
doing
mama
that?
did that. Remember?
Like,
My
if you,
baby
why
mama.
you do that? Why?
So let's go to our audience. Let's get some,
Okay.
let's answer some questions. Let's see. What's your take on it?
You say you don't think men can forgive, and
I didn't say I don't think they can forgive. They have a harder time forgiving than a sister or a woman.
Yes,
I believe that when we get cheated on as men, we take it harder than a woman does.
for
We
sure.
have a really tough time getting past that mountain.
yeah, I believe that. But I think they could. I think people could get by with it if they both try to help the situation. Say, for example, if that dude, if his wife sees a picture of his high school sweetheart again, it could be 3 months later, 4 months later. He talking about something, or go to an Instagram video, like, oh, I remember we went to the reunion, and then she sees that picture, it brings that stuff back
Yep.
up
Yep,
again.
yep.
It's like a constant. But if they both helping to erase that and just move forward from it, I think
They can recover
it's
from it.
possible.
I believe
as
that
long
too.
as they're both trying to purposely get away from that. What do
See,
you
that's a great point. You said as long as they're both. See, it has to
Right.
be two willing parties and
Right.
participants. The other one can't be trying to crucify you every
Right
week.
now, she's still very
Yeah,
scorned.
she's torn. She's scorned. I'm sorry by it. Yeah, it's fresh. Yeah,
I just wanted to make a comment because time heals all injuries.
that's true.
And so when we look at it fundamentally, and it's funny you mentioned that up because I started to laugh. My wife tries to get me to go down with a friend of mine down to the CIAA, and I told her I'm not going. Because a Muslim friend of mine said that if you stand next to a hot dog stand long enough, you're going to eat one.
See?
And so my thing is that I know I could be in a position, and I told her, I said, I don't feel like fighting. And she said, what do you mean by fight? I said, you don't understand the desire that the average man, and I'll get into that when I talk about the book stuff.
I like that.
The desire that the average man has to fight with in order to stay strong as far as infidelity is concerned. I said, so I said the best thing for me to do is go in the park and run with my son. I'm not even going to put myself in that environment. But the other thing is that I wanted to mention is that men have sex for today, women have sex for tomorrow. I believe that the reason that a lot of times the men have harder times forgiving is because women's infidelity typically is more emotional based. Men is just about the energy.
Yep.
A man can go out in that
Very
parking lot,
true.
leave this show, and a woman says, come to apartment 202, 50% of the men will still go, especially if she's attractive. But women's infidelity tends to be more emotional, and I think that may be the reason because your mind went.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
point. All of that, all of what you said.
Yeah.
And yes, and so yeah, we're gonna piggyback off of that a little more when you
Yeah.
come up here.
Hey,
I like
y'all on the feed,
so that
what
was
y'all
our
think?
author. That was one of our guests today. That's coming up next. That just spoke, and so very intelligent speaking on that. I like the way you put that.
What y'all say?
What you
Ricardo,
guys say?
if your wife steps out and she sleeps with her high school sweetheart, do you take her back? Flip it. If there's a woman on here, if your husband goes away for his high school
What do you
reunion,
do?
he cheats and it was a mistake.
What do you do? So I like your honesty in it all, and the honesty of it is, men are really tempted, and a lot of times brothers pretend that they died when they got married, and their eyeballs got the hell poked out or something. I don't know what's going on, but it's fake. And so I like the realness of it all to say, yes, we're tempted. Yes, we have eyeballs. Yes, you know if she's thick and it's this. Yeah.
You
So,
going way too
yeah,
far with the damn description.
I'm
If
just
she's
saying,
thick and all of
I was
this,
getting into it this show. That's what how. Yeah.
I'm gonna get
So
into it.
what I'm saying is
I'm
yes.
getting right on into
I'm
it.
just saying yes, Terry. Slow down. And so, and so all I'm telling you is these things are real. And so for a lot of men, they only as strong as their what they call it, their options. And so if they have a bag, they probably have more options. And so therefore it's a lot harder to be faithful. And that's why a lot of sisters that chase men with a big bag be disappointed because they don't just only be with them. Well, sometimes they're not mature enough to resist the options.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you stay resistant.
It takes
'cause I'm
strength.
not trying. I don't
It don't
want
take
to kill
strength.
my
It takes
husband. Like,
strength,
I don't
like
want
my
to do
man
that.
said. You got to be strong, so you can't put yourself around
Yeah.
it. And so a lot of times it's just like being an ex-drug addict. Why would you go around people that's smoking hella cannabis if you say you don't want to smoke no more cannabis?
Right.
Then stay your ass in the house. They smoking cannabis.
Right.
That's not for you. That's a different
Right.
party.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to go where they don't. They free from that.
Right. I agree.
Or be
So,
strong enough.
Keep
One of
yourselves out of those environments, men.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
to.
well, she thought she could send you to
And for the
your high
thought
school
sisters
reunion.
that be tempting
though.
us, there's a lot of thoughts out there that be tempting and pulling and dragging too. So they have a responsibility. Do they not? To not be thoughting all the time.
No, well,
And
listen.
if you know the man married,
No.
why are you pulling?
Here's what
trying
I
to
say
pull
to
his
that.
drawers off? What are
These
you
thought
doing?
women don't have no responsibility
doing,
to me. They're
Thought?
not my friends. They didn't make a commitment or a vow to me. It is you who have a responsibility and a commitment to me, no matter if you are surrounded by 18,000 thoughts and they clapping it in your face and the sweat is smacking on your cheeks.
Now are they naked clapping?
And
or
yeah,
they
I
had a
don't
draw?
give I don't care.
I'm just asking for the.
You know
for
what?
a
Let's
friend,
go to a commercial
Sarah.
break before I start. I'm for real.
I'm asking for a friend. Are they naked clapping or do they have on underwear clapping? Because it's
You
a
know
different
what?
level of temptation.
It's a different
That's
level.
all I'm trying to say. Let's go to the commercial.
Let's go to a commercial break, you all. We have an amazing guest. We have an author waiting so patiently for us, and I do not want to kill my husband. I don't, y'all.
Love you.
So